Hello. So in the last video, I kind of moved around this studio, but as you can see in the background, there's not a lot going on. It's kind of dark and a bit boring. So I thought in this video, we're going to take a look at the Aputure Amaran SM5c strip light and just see what kind of ambience we can get and see what features it offers. So I'm going to do speed unboxing. This is everything you've got in the box. You've got the main power adapter, you've got the control unit, you've got some double-sided sticky tape, some alcohol prep pad, and the instructions, and of course the strip light itself. Take a look at this strip light. This is basically a 5 meter long strip light, but you can actually buy an extender, so you can extend it up to 10 meters total. The back of this strip light has double-sided tape on it, so you can stick it to surfaces, and you can use this extra tape to support slightly more difficult or areas where you might need a bit more sticky action, like going around the corner of a table or something. So that's basically if the built-in adhesive on the back of the strip light is not enough, you can use a bit of this just to kind of reinforce it. Quick tip though, I wouldn't go sticking this thing down anywhere until you're sure you have it where you want it. You're better off moving it around and just getting the look that you want before you commit to sticking it. This thing is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth enabled, so you can use the Sidus Link app, or you can connect it to something like Google Home or Alexa. Out of the box, this one's 5 meters long and it's got 300 individual LEDs in it, and you can actually split it up into multiple zones, which I'll show you in a minute, which is pretty cool. This strip light is designed mainly for content creators, YouTubers, live streamers, that kind of thing, to improve the overall aesthetic of the video. So let's go and get this thing connected and I'll show you how it works. So I'm just going to uncoil a bit of this. Normally you would never use this turned on all coiled up, as you could get overheating problems or potentially some risk there. So we'll just stretch that out so you can see what's going on. At one end of this strip light you've got this connector, and this connector has a little triangle on one side and the control unit has a similar triangle. So just line up the triangles, push it together, and then in the bottom of this control unit you've got the power input here. So the AC adapter plugs into here, and then this plugs into a power outlet. This alcohol prep pad, that's to use on surfaces before you stick the double-sided tape on the back of the strip light to it. It's just to kind of clean up that surface to make sure that adhesive is going to stick properly. I've got a power outlet here, so we'll just go and plug that in. Now we can use this controller to perform basic control features of the light. So to turn it on, I'm just going to press this left-hand button once. There's 3 modes. You can have CCT mode, so you can control the color temperature and also the intensity. There's HSI mode, that lets you control the hue and the saturation and the intensity. And there's also this FX mode to use some of the effects. To get the full feature set of this light, you are going to want to use the Sidus Link app, and I'll show you that in a second. So currently we're in the basic CCT mode. If I turn this dial, it's changing the intensity of the light. This dial is also a switch, so I can push it down, and that's going to switch the dial to control the color temperature. Moving it to the left, it gets warmer, to the right, gets cooler. If I press this right button again, we're going to switch from CCT to HSI mode. That's going to allow us to control the hue, saturation and intensity. And then pressing this button again will switch from HSI to FX mode. You can see we've kind of got like a little trail going on there. And you can play with a dial to get different effects. I'm just going to go back to CCT mode just so we don't get a headache. So they're the basic functions you can operate using the controller. There's also this music mode where it will react to music playing in the background and kind of light up. To get the full feature set, you're going to want to use the Sidus Link app. So you can download that for iOS and Android. And we'll go and open up the Sidus Link app. The Sidus Link app is really meant for content creators and filmmakers. So it works on the concept of a scene, and a scene has multiple lights within it. So the first thing we need to do, if we don't already have a scene, is tap the top plus button. This is going to give us this new scene, scene 02. And if we wanted to, we could rename this and then tap on this new scene that we've created. At the minute it's empty, which means we don't have any fixtures, any lights as part of that scene. To add a light, tap the green plus button. You can see that the SM5 strip light is showing up there. You can also hold down this middle button for 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3, and then this light will flash, which means it'll put it into Bluetooth pairing mode. I'm going to tap that and then hit setup. So Sidus Link is registering that light as part of this scene. Tap OK once that's done, and now you can see we've got the SM5C here. Again, you can rename this if you want. Let's just call it strip and hit OK. Now we've got our strip light here. Tapping on this will let you go into the controls for this strip light. So we're basically controlling this entire strip light remotely now. For example, we can control the intensity. We can control the color temperature, make it really warm or really cool. We can also work with colors here by choosing a preset color or moving your finger around on this dial Let's go for a nice kind of blue color maybe. Once again, change the intensity if you want to. There's also effects here, so we've got some built-in system effects, such as roaring fire. Just hit play, and we get that kind of firelight effect. Just turn it off. And if you scroll across here and tap on pixel control, this is going to give you fine grain control, and it's essentially going to allow you to control different sections of the light differently. So you can either split this into 5 sections, or 25 sections if you want even more control. So that's a super quick overview of what you can do with this, but I'm more interested in how it can improve the look of what we've got going on in the background there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this light, not going to stick it anywhere yet. I'm just going to run it across the back right behind me there, that whole length of those desks, and just see what we can do to improve the look of this overall shot. So I've run it along the back there and I've plugged it in, haven't turned it on yet, but I'm going to use the Sidus Link app here to turn it on remotely. Just going to tap on strip and then hit this toggle button to activate it. And you can see behind me it's turned on. Now what we can do is we can just look at the screen on the camera and we can kind of work out the kind of look that we want. So we can control the intensity, that's at 100%, 50%, 25%. And obviously you'll play with your intensities to get the look that you want. So let's just set it at half for now. And perhaps we want a nice blue color temperature there. I think one of the real benefits of this light is that zone system. So let's go back over to pixel control. And now we've got that full 5 meters stretched out of the back there. This should become a bit clearer. So let's start with zone 1. We'll use HSI mode just so we can give ourselves a bit more control. And you can see just over the back there, that first meter is the only thing being controlled now when I'm setting this up. So let's go for some complementary colors here. We'll go with a teal and maybe we'll make it a bit brighter. If I tap on zone 5 now, we can set zone 5 differently. So we'll go into HSI for zone 5 and we'll go and make zone 5 orange, increase the intensity so we can actually see it, and then set it to kind of orange color. I'm just looking at the monitor while I'm doing this, so I'm not being rude, I promise. So that's one end of the strip light and the other end of the strip light. Then we can set the middle part, which you can't really see too much of because my big head's in the way in case I move out of the way. Hello. Let's set zone 2 to a kind of blue color. Zone 3, zone 4, let's just make that green just because we can. So it's really easy to use just one strip light to get an accent across the whole background of a video, which I think is really cool. And of course you don't have to have it as just a single straight line. You could maybe stick it in some kind of shape or put it underneath a desk. Anything really. That's the benefit of this kind of strip light, is you can curve it around contours. It doesn't have to be a straight line. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you've used this light or you're thinking about getting one. I'd be really interested in hearing how you set it up and the kind of look that you got. I'm Jason Roberts. Don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials on making better looking, better edited and better sounding films. See you in the next one.